For 14 seasons on NBC, the Ponderosa Ranch was the most famous piece of land on American television. 4 men on horseback, a father and his 3 sons, riding across a Nevada landscape so wide, it felt like the whole country could breathe inside it. Bonanza premiered in 1959 and ran until 1973, becoming the second longest-running Western in American television history. At its peak, it was the most-watched show in the world. The 4 men who built it paid for that fame in ways the cameras never caught. All of them are gone now. This is where they all ended up. Lorne Greene played Ben Cartwright, the patriarch, the anchor, the man around whom the entire show rotated. He was born in Ottawa, Canada in 1915 and had built one of the most distinctive voices in North American broadcasting before he ever put on a cowboy hat. During World War II, he read the casualty lists over CBC radio, a job so dark the Canadian public nicknamed him the Voice of Doom. Ben Cartwright was the complete opposite of that name. Greene played him as a man of warmth, authority, and unshakable decency, a widower 3 times over who had built a dynasty on the frontier and never once lost faith in the sons he was raising. He starred in every single episode of the show's 14-year run, 430 episodes without missing one. After Bonanza ended in 1973, he released country albums, appeared in the miniseries Roots as a slave owner, and joined the cast of the original Battlestar Galactica in 1978 as Commander Adama. He told a reporter in 1967 that he was ready for the show to end, that after a long run on television, a man felt there were other things he needed to do before it was too late. He was right, but the other things came slowly. Lorne Greene died on September 11, 1987, at the age of 72, from complications following surgery for a perforated ulcer. Pneumonia finished what the surgery had started. The Voice of Doom had spent 14 years being the voice of something entirely different. He deserved more time for the rest. Dan Blocker played Hoss Cartwright, the middle son, a 300-pound gentle giant whose size suggested violence and whose actual presence made him the most beloved character on the show. He was the one who cried at injured animals and could not stay angry at anyone for longer than 30 seconds. Blocker was born in DeKalb, Texas in 1928. He had been a real-life giant since childhood, enormous from a young age, and he channeled every ounce of that size into warmth rather than intimidation. He earned a master's degree in drama from Sul Ross State University before anyone in Hollywood took him seriously. He was a school teacher before he was a star. On set, he was known as the peacemaker, the one who smoothed tensions between cast members and producers, the one who made everyone feel the work was worth doing. In the spring of 1972, he went into surgery for a routine gallbladder removal. A pulmonary embolism formed during the procedure. Dan Blocker died on May 13, 1972, at the age of 43, while Bonanza was still in production. The show had never filmed without him. The cast and crew were devastated. The producers tried to continue. They killed off Hoss in a storyline, brought in a new character to fill the space, and struggled through one final season before NBC canceled the show in 1973. Blocker's death did not just break the family, it broke the show itself. There are cast members who believe the Ponderosa ended the day Hoss did. People who worked with him on Bonanza said he was the same man on Friday afternoon as he was on Monday morning, which in Hollywood was not a small thing. He had coached Little League, mentored young actors on set, and was by every account the emotional center of a production that could have easily been defined by its conflicts rather than its warmth. Pernell Roberts played Adam Cartwright, the eldest son, the most educated, the most restless, the one who could never quite accept that the Ponderosa was enough of a world. Roberts was born in Waycross, Georgia in 1928 and had spent years in regional theater and Broadway before Bonanza made him famous. He was a serious actor, trapped in what he considered assembly line television, and he did not stay quiet about it. He called the show junk television and accused NBC of perpetuating banality. He told the Washington Post that he had fought constantly with the powers about scripts and character development, that it got so he was upset the minute he arrived for work, that it was no way to live. He left the show after 6 seasons in 1965, at the height of its popularity, and Hollywood broadly assumed he had destroyed his career. Lorne Greene had told him to his face to stay, that if he wrote it out to the end he would be very rich. Roberts did not listen. He was not an easy man to live with, by his own admission. Too restless, too principled, too unwilling to pretend that something was fine when it was not. The decision cost him years of steady income and the security that came with being a household name. It also gave him back something the Ponderosa had been slowly taking, the feeling that the work he was doing was worth the life he was spending on it. He found his way back with Trapper John MD in 1979, which ran for 7 seasons and gave him the sustained success he had always chased. His son Chris, born in 1951, died in 1989 from injuries sustained in a motorcycle accident. Roberts carried that loss for the rest of his life. He died on January 24, 2010, of pancreatic cancer at his home in Malibu, at the age of 81, the last surviving member of the original Bonanza cast. He had been married 4 times and was with his 4th wife Eleanor at the end. Adam Cartwright always had to leave the ranch. Pernell Roberts spent his whole life proving he was right to go. Michael Landon played Little Joe Cartwright, the youngest son, the hot-tempered romantic, the one with the green jacket and the fast draw and the wide eyes that could break your heart in a close-up. He was 22 years old when the show began, and he never left it. 14 seasons, all 430 episodes, every single one. After Bonanza ended, he created and starred in Little House on the Prairie, which ran for 9 years and made him one of the most beloved figures in the history of American television. Then he created Highway to Heaven and ran that for 5 years. His face appeared on the cover of TV Guide 22 times, second only to Lucille Ball. He was born Eugene Maurice Orowitz in Queens, New York in 1936. His childhood was difficult. His father was frequently absent. His mother struggled with mental illness. He found javelin throwing in high school and earned an athletic scholarship to USC, then blew out his arm and lost the scholarship and found acting instead. He married 3 times and fathered 9 children. On a skiing trip to Park City, Utah in early 1991, he began experiencing severe abdominal pain. He flew home. A CT scan revealed a large tumor. A biopsy confirmed inoperable pancreatic and liver cancer. It was April 5, 1991. On April 8th, 3 days later, he invited the press to his Malibu ranch and told them himself. He said he thought you had to have a sense of humor about everything, that he did not find it particularly funny, but that if you were going to try to beat something, you were not going to do it standing in the corner. On May 9th, he appeared on The Tonight Show with his old friend Johnny Carson, visibly weakened but laughing, joking about carrot juice and coffee enemas, calling tabloid headlines about his remaining weeks of life the cancer in our society. Carson told him he had made him feel much better with his attitude. In the last week of June, all 9 of his children came to his Malibu home and kept vigil. Michael Landon died on July 1st, 1991, with his wife Cindy at his bedside. He was 54 years old. He had held a press conference at his own ranch to break the news himself, refusing to let the tabloids define the story of his dying, the way they had tried to define everything else about him. His gravestone reads, "He seized life with joy. He gave to life generously. He had been diagnosed with mild dyslexia as a child and spent years being told he was not smart enough for the work he wanted to do. He spent the rest of his life proving otherwise, writing his own scripts, directing his own episodes, building a body of work that outlasted almost everyone who had doubted him. He is buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Hollywood Hills. The boy from Queens who found himself on a Nevada ranch and never quite left it, died the same way he had lived, on his own terms, with his family around him, without letting the fear show. They rode out of the Ponderosa one by one across 4 decades. Hoss first, then the father, then the youngest, then the eldest last. The ranch that had anchored 14 seasons of American prime time is a real property in Nevada. It still stands. The men who made it famous are all gone, but the show runs in syndication somewhere in the world.